All right, let's get right into it. We're going to break down a clear, actionable roadmap for men in recovery who are dealing with one of the toughest parts of this whole journey, trying to rebuild trust with their partner. And this isn't about vague ideas, okay? This is a practical, step-by-step guide to actually start healing your relationship. This quote right here, it gets right to the heart of the matter. We have to start by understanding that for your partner, the deepest wound often isn't the addiction itself. No, it's the constant deception. It's all the broken promises, the web of lies that completely shattered their sense of safety and really their sense of reality. Okay, so let's dive into what's actually going on in their world. To really get this, we have to understand the psychological reality your partner is living in every single day. See, for you, the past might feel like it's in the past, but for them, trust me, it is very much alive, right here in the present. You know, what your partner is experiencing actually has a name. It's called betrayal trauma. This isn't just them being emotional or overreacting. It is a recognized severe psychological injury. The symptoms are incredibly similar to post-traumatic stress disorder. That hypervigilance, that constant anxiety, it's all part of a legitimate trauma response. Their nervous system has basically been rewired to be on high alert for danger, 24/7. And this leads to something incredibly damaging known as the gaslighting effect. Now, gaslighting is when you manipulate someone so much that they start to question their own sanity. Every time you denied something you did or lied about where you were messing with their reality. And when that happens over and over, it completely erodes your partner's ability to trust their own perception. And that is a terrifying place to be. So let's see how this actually plays out in a real-life moment. Let's say you're 15 minutes late from work. Totally innocent reason, right? Maybe there was traffic. But for your partner, that small event gets filtered through this lens of years of betrayal. The brain doesn't see traffic, it sees a familiar pattern of lies. And that immediately activates a fight-or-flight panic response. So what looks to you like a massive overreaction is actually their trauma system just screaming danger. And all of this leads to a super frustrating place that many of you are probably stuck in right now. It's a place where your main tool for fixing things, saying I'm sorry, has lost all of its power. You're saying the words, but they're just not landing. So why is that? Let's take a look. I mean, just think about it for a second. Over the course of the addiction, how many times did you apologize? Probably hundreds. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. But then it did happen again and again. And with each broken promise, the words I'm sorry became a little more worthless. It's like a currency that's been devalued to the point where it can't buy anything anymore, especially not trust. And this right here illustrates the huge shift you have to make. You have to stop trying to trade in this devalued currency of words, the apologies, the promises, the endless explanations. The only currency that has any value now is action. We're talking consistent behavior, things she can actually see, agreements that are actually kept. You have to stop trying to talk your way out of this and start acting your way back in. So if action is the new currency, what does that actually look like? Let's explore a really powerful strategy. This isn't just about being a little more honest. This is a complete overhaul of how you operate in your relationship. This whole strategy is called radical transparency. And this right here is the turning point. It means you stop waiting to be asked. You stop waiting to be questioned or caught. Instead, you start volunteering information freely and proactively, all with the goal of creating a sense of safety for your partner. This quote just nails it. The old dynamic was your partner having to become a detective, right? Constantly policing you just to feel a little bit safe. Well, radical transparency flips that whole thing on its head. Your new job isn't to defend yourself anymore. Your new job is to actively and voluntarily comfort your partner, giving them the reassurance they need to even begin to heal. Okay, so this all sounds good, but how do you actually do it? Let's get down to brass tacks. We're going to move from the why to the how and break this big idea down into concrete, manageable actions you can start doing like today. All right, here's your playbook. Step 1, proactive disclosure. This means you share information before you're ever asked. Leave your phone unlocked on the kitchen counter. Offer to share your GPS location. Show them your bank statements without them having to ask. It's about getting ahead of the suspicion. And step 2, micro promises. Trust isn't rebuilt with some grand gesture. It's rebuilt with tiny, kept agreements. If you say you'll take the trash out at 8 p.m., you do it at 8 p.m. Every single kept micropromise is like a small deposit into a totally depleted trust account. It slowly, but surely, rebuilds the pathways of reliability in their brain. And finally, let's talk about the internal piece, the mindset you have to have. Because let me be clear, all those practical steps, they will absolutely fail if you don't get your head right. This is honestly the hardest, but it is by far the most important part of this whole thing. You have to accept this truth deep down in your bones. When your partner is suspicious, it is not a flaw in their character. It's not them trying to be difficult. It is the predictable, natural, and completely understandable consequence of your past actions. It's a symptom of their trauma. Your job isn't to get defensive about it. Your job is to meet it with empathy and the reassurance of your transparent action. And please, you gotta understand that this is a marathon, not a sprint. In the first few weeks, your new transparency is gonna be met with a ton of suspicion. After months of unwavering consistency, you might start to see some tiny glimmers of trust. But building a new, solid foundation of safety, that can take years. It has to be built on a long, undeniable history of proven, trustworthy behavior. So it all really comes down to this one question. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being willing to be completely open. Are you ready to stop defending yourself and start comforting her? Are you truly ready to be an open book, to do whatever it takes to help your partner feel safe again? Because your answer to that question is going to determine everything.